you again for inviting me to your lecture series. And as the sensei just mentioned, this is our fourth class, and we have one more class left. And it's so nice. It's so nice that we can study the larger sutra. As I've been telling you, the larger sutra is a sutra that Shinran Shonin considered the most important sutra in his life, as well as in Buddhism. So it's so crucial that we study this sutra if you are interested in knowing Shinran Shonin's teaching. So before I get into the new section of the story of Dharmakara, let me review, okay? This is the same outline picture I drew before, okay? So the basically Buddhism talks about two types of Buddhism, okay? Two types of Buddhism. And this is the Buddhism in which humans, go toward Buddhahood. Okay? This is the Buddhism, and that the humans, using their own resources, try to attain Buddhahood this way. Okay? But there's another type of Buddhism. That is a Buddhism that goes from Buddhahood, okay? From Buddhahood to humans. Okay? These are the two major Buddhist traditions. Okay? So I want you to know the distinction between these two. Sometimes we call this Hinayana Buddhism, and sometimes we call this Mahayana Buddhism. Okay, and or if we use Shinran Shonin's terminology, Shinran calls this provisional Buddhism, and he calls this true Buddhism. Shinshu means true Buddhism. This is Shinshu, true Buddhism. That's the classification Shinran Shonin uses. So this is the basic information I want you to know. And so the larger sutra is Mahayana Sutra, and talking about this Buddhism, that the Buddhahood takes initiative, and the Buddha's power goes to humans and liberate. But here, human power, people depend upon human powers, is so-called self-power, and try to go there. So the Ananda is here, but yesterday's Ananda was a Hinayana Ananda. So he saw Shakyamuni as a teacher of this tradition. Okay, but today Ananda, new Ananda is born, and Ananda is meeting with a Mahayana Buddha. Okay, this Buddha is so different. Okay, so in doctrinal introduction, Ananda is so much shaken, okay, by the power of the Shakyamuni's light or wisdom, and he asked a question. Question is, Shakyamuni, what are you? Say, what are you? You're so different from the Shakyamuni you I saw yesterday. Okay, what is this power I'm feeling? And please tell me, what is the nature of this power? I think this must be the power of the Nembutsu. You must be thinking of all the Buddhas in 10 directions, past Buddhas, future Buddhas, and present Buddhas, and you must be thinking of them and worshiping them and revering them, doing Nembutsu to them. And at the same time, all those Buddhas are thinking you of as a Buddha. So there must be mutual Nembutsu. The Buddhas and the Buddhas are mutually thinking. That must be happening here now. Isn't that the reason why you're so brilliant? Is Nembutsu the cause of your brilliance? So this is a question, okay? And Shakyamuni is so happy Ananda came up with this question. And he said, instead of saying yes, yes, the essence of my being is Nembutsu. I embody Nembutsu. I embody the light, limitless wisdom. Okay, so that's what Shakyamuni wants to say. So instead of saying yes, he has this story of Dharmakara becoming Amida Buddha. Okay, so this story, okay, it's a fictional story, okay? Dharmakara, Amida Buddha, Dharmakara or Amida Buddha are not the historical people. These are historical people, okay? So the historical student is asking historical teacher, what are you? What do you embody? And Shakyamuni is explaining the source of his Buddhahood. Okay? Now I'm going to tell you from where I come from. What is the basis of my what is the basis of my spirit? I'm going to tell you the universal basis, spiritual basis of Buddhahood. That's what the Shakyamuni is. This is archetype, okay? Archetype or prototype of the human spirit. Okay, so this is a fictional story, and the story begins. Okay, we started to read the story. Once upon a time, the king met a teacher, Buddha, Lokeshvara Raja, and he is deeply awakened. So same like Ananda. This aspiration, okay, deeply shaken, the new awareness, the aspiration is awakened. This is the same way, this desire, aspiration to become Buddha is awakened. Okay, so this is a gun. See, aspiration is gun. This is a hongan, innermost aspiration. Okay, this is the most important thing. Okay, and Dharmakara symbolizes this. Okay, so anyway, then this story, Shindan Shonin interpret this story using 5 stages. Okay, story itself does not mention these 5 stages, but based on the predecessor's interpretation, Shindan Shonin says Dharmakara performed 5 practices: worship, praise, vow making, and this is the main practice. These are all the starting point. Okay, then number 4 is this is the practice. This is the practice. Okay, this turning around. Okay? He said, I want to become Buddha exactly like you. This aspiration going down is awakened. This gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So finally, Dharmakara becomes exactly the same Buddha his teacher embodied. Okay? This direction, whole direction is turned around. Okay? This is the content of main practice called meditation. Okay? Then when he becomes the Buddha, he wants all his merits, like wisdom, compassion. Actually, this Buddha consists of 2 components. That's why I put the line here. Okay, this is wisdom and compassion. Wisdom and compassion. This is the 2 types of wisdom I discussed last week. Okay, and so he, after becoming a Buddha, after creating Pure Land, he wants all the virtues of his Buddhahood and Pure Land to this historical context. Okay, that's called the transferring merits. The echo. It's Japanese word is echo. You see, echo means this is the last practice, fifth one. So he wants to transfer this. Transferring means this. He desires wisdom, compassion, you see, and other merits to be actualized, realized in this historical context. Okay? So that's what Shakyamuni wants to say. See? I embody the same these virtues, and Shakyamuni wants to say, see, I didn't create these merits, wisdom, compassion. I'm the recipient of it. See? My predecessors, archetype, Dharmakara, Amida Buddha, they, the Amida gave it to me. See? This is what Shakyamuni is. So I'm worshiping Amida Buddha. I'm the recipient of this. This was given, transfer. Amida giving this to Shakyamuni means Shakyamuni is receiving this from him. That's how Shakyamuni answers. See, Ananda, you ask me, this is the wisdom, radiance, the tremendous, limitless light, radiance, limitless radiance of wisdom is given to me, and that's what I have. See, then by saying that, Shakyamuni is answering, what are you? What are you, Shakyamuni? What are you? See, I'm a person who came out of this history, the history in the story, the universal principle came out of this spiritual base, universal basis. So this story is designed to explain the spiritual basis or sources of Dharmakara. Okay, that this picture is very important. Okay, and this is this first volume of larger Sutra talks about this side, Dharma side, okay? The Buddha's side, and second volume talks about this side, recipient. This is the people, patient. This is the hospital. This is the hospital doctor, and this is the medicine. Okay, merits. This is the medicine. So the story we are talking about is explained is in the first volume and explaining this dharmas, okay, liberators side. And second volume, this time we are not going to read the second volume. Okay, second volume talks about how people are going to be saved, how the patients are going to be cured. That's the theme of the second volume. Okay, so that's the outline. Okay, now let me get into the story. Okay. Section 6, the Buddha said to Ananda, having spoken these verses, the bhikshu means monk, Dharmakara said to the Buddha Lokeshvara Raja, respectfully, world honored one, I announce that I have awakened aspiration. See, this is a very important word, aspiration. Okay, aspiration, awakened. And here, aspiration and shinjin are synonymous. Okay, awakening, aspiration, awakening, shinjin is awakening. Okay, so the aspiration for the highest perfect enlightenment, I beseech you to explain the Dharma to me fully, so that I can perform practices for the establishment of the pure Buddha land, adorned with innumerable excellent qualities. So please teach me how to attain enlightenment quickly, and actually it says quickly in this world, and to remove the roots of the afflictions of birth and death of all. So this is a request Dharmakara makes. It's natural. Okay, he said, I want to become a Buddha exactly like you. So I need some instruction how to become a Buddha. See, it's quite natural. He requests the teaching. The Buddha said to Ananda, at that time, the Buddha Lokeshvara Raja replied to the monk Dharmakara, you yourself should know by what practice you can establish a glorious Buddha land. So the teacher is rejecting his student request to teach. And it's very interesting. So we have to know the reason why teacher requests. Dharmakara is sincerely asking asking for instruction, but the teacher said, oh, something like that, you should know by yourself. I cannot teach you. What does this mean? What does this mean? So the teacher is saying, Dharmakara, if you want to learn how to become a Buddha, you have to know it by yourself. Because becoming a Buddha is realizing your true self. Realizing your true self is becoming Buddha. Something like that, I cannot help you do that. That's your own business. You have to do it by yourself. Okay, it's a very important message, implied in this rejection. So Dharmakara kind of asks the second question. The second question here. Okay, second question is and he said, okay, Dharmakara says to the Buddha, that is far too vast and deep for my comprehension. I sincerely beseech you, world honored one, to explain the detail the practices by which Buddhas, Tathagatas established their pure land. After I hear that, I wish to practice as instructed and so fulfill my aspirations. So now, Dharmakara is saying, okay, since I'm so immature, I need the basic information. So please help me to understand the basic information for my becoming Buddha. I'm not asking you to teach me how I become Buddha. Say, give me basic information. So kind of Dharmakara is kind of asking another question. See, I know my limitation. So please give me the basic instruction. Then the teacher, having understood that Dharmakara is very sincere in asking for the instructions, teacher gives the instruction. See, so here I spelled out in the material. See, here we can talk about this English proverb. You can take a horse to the river, but you cannot make it drink. See, this proverb is relevant. See? So there's something teacher can do and something teacher cannot do. See, that's what the teacher is saying. Okay, so the teacher can take the student to the river, to the awakening experience, but the teacher cannot make student to have the awakening experience. Okay? So the teacher himself take initiative in experiencing awakening. So that's what the teacher can do and what the teacher cannot do. So the Dharmakara in the second request clarified. I'm not asking you to give me the final answers. I'm just asking you to give me basic information. So that's this is what this dialogue means. Okay, so after that, the teacher gives this instruction, two instructions. Okay, two instructions, but these two instructions, okay, like first one is the bailing water out of the ocean. Second instruction is that the teacher shows Dharmakara 20 billion Buddha lands, Buddha country, 20 billion Buddha countries. So the two instructions, but let me talk about the first instruction, okay? At that time, the Buddha Lokeshvara Raja recognized the Bhikshu monk Dharmakara's noble and high aspiration and taught him as follows. If, for example, one keeps on bailing water out of a great ocean with a pint measure, one will be able to reach the bottom after many kalpas and then obtain rare treasures. Likewise, if one sincerely, diligently, and unceasingly seeks the way, one will be able to reach one's destination. What about, I think aspiration is better translation here. What aspiration is there that cannot be fulfilled? See? So the teacher is telling the Dharmakara, the most important thing is to have this aspiration to keep on seeking and learning forever. See? This is endless. See? Just like emptying the ocean with a cup. It's a tedious and tiring, continuous effort making, seeking and learning. See, this is what you have to do. Okay, so actually later in the Sutra practice, this Dharmakara takes this Dharmakara's practice is called eternal practice, endless practice. So this teaching of making effort eternally is so important. Okay, this is the spiritual basis of Dharmakara. Okay, and now here in this instruction, there's an expression, attaining a treasure, attaining a wonderful treasure. So I want to talk a little bit about this, attaining a wonderful treasure. Okay, when we hear of this instruction, we can think about two types of wonderful treasures. Okay, that's what I mentioned here. Okay, one here, two types of treasure. Treasure means goal. Okay, you know, in your efforts you have goal. Okay? You have this objective, okay? Goal. Then what is the goal? This wonderful treasure. We can think about two types of treasure here. Okay, the treasure, the spirit of pro, that human beings usually desire to attain. A small river becoming a huge lake. The treasure, the spirit of the beginner, that Dharmakara, who embodies the innermost aspiration, desires to attain. A small river becoming a huge river that keeps on flowing limitlessly. Process is itself the goal in Buddhism. Okay, this is very important. Okay, I have to explain these differences between two types of treasure. Okay, two types of treasure. Okay. Now, A, B. Okay, two types of treasure. There's a kind of well here, okay, well, and water start to drip here, okay, and this tiny stream of water, okay, gets bigger and bigger, okay, and other stream merge, and this gets into a small river, okay, small river, and it gets bigger and bigger, okay, and this gets to be the middle-sized river, okay, and in this process, okay, in this aspiration, this river's, this flow has aspiration, say aspiration. This aspiration is, I want to become a huge lake. So it gets bigger and bigger, and then eventually this huge river and become this huge lake. This is one type of river, but problem is that this, when it's flowing, it is very dynamic, okay, very lively move process, okay. But when it becomes the desires, I want to become a huge lake. This is the goal, okay, goal. So he becomes this huge lake, okay? And people admire this. Oh, beautiful lake, okay. And but problem is that this when once it stops, this flow stops flowing, okay, then it starts to accumulate dirt, the accumulation of the filth and dirt, and start to have some kind of bad smell, stench. See, that could happen. Okay, so this is the first type of aspiration. Okay, second type of aspiration is this same. Okay, this water starts to drip and becomes small, tiny flow. Okay, tiny flow, and becomes small river, and gradually it becomes the middle-sized. Then it becomes the huge, large river. Okay, large river, and this becomes a large river. Okay. And like a Mississippi River, the huge river. But see, desire, this flow's desire is, I want to flow forever. I want to become I want to fulfill my desire to become a limitlessly powerful flow. I want to become the flow that has no end, no ending. I want to become the huge river that keeps on getting greater and greater. See, this is, so there's no end to it. This keeps on flowing forever like this, okay, forever. So we can think about these two types of aspirations, okay, aspirations. And Dharmakara's aspiration is this kind of aspiration, okay? This aspiration to become the flow that keeps on flowing limitlessly. Okay? But this desire is, I want to become a huge flow, but I want to become a huge lake. See, so this is this aspiration to become something. This is a fixed goal. Fixed goal. See, I want to attain something. Attain this fixed goal. Fixed future goal. Okay, but this does not have that aspiration. I want to flow forever and become bigger and bigger forever. See, endlessly. See, flowing and flowing. That's my aspiration. See, that is so the treasure. See, treasure, wonderful attaining treasure could mean this kind of fixed goal. Okay? And this is not a fixed goal. It's a goal of becoming a flow that keeps on flowing limitlessly. I want to become the limitless flow. See, that is a goal. Okay, so in this instruction, it's very important. Okay? Actually, see, this is our regular aspirations. Okay, when we have all kinds of desires, aspirations. Our usual aspiration is like this: I want to become something. I want to have some kind of fixed goal attained. See, so our usual goal is something like this. But see, think about the deepest goal in our life. Don't you think that process itself is a goal in your life? Okay? Living itself want to be the fulfilling living, rich living. See, so living has goal in itself. See, usually we live for something fixed goal. That's our regular desire. Okay, but deeper desire we have is, see, we live for the sake of living. Goal of living in the life itself. See, we want to live, we want to keep on living and appreciate the richness and fullness of life. So process itself has goal in itself. The goal is inherent in life. See, that's what this aspiration means. See, two types of aspirations, but our aspiration is this way. So whenever we have this goal attained, our aspiration disappears. But this aspiration, see, goal is in the flowing. The flowing itself has goal in itself. Our living has goal in itself. We live for the true living. Okay? We live for the appreciation of the true life living. Okay, so the goal of life is in itself. See, so this kind of aspiration, there's no fixed ending. Okay, this is a kind of, this is gone. Okay, this gone. Okay, this gone. Whether we have this aspiration awakened or not is so crucial. Okay, so the Dharmakara teacher says, what aspiration is there that cannot be fulfilled? If you awaken this kind of powerful desire to seek the meaning of life itself, there's no end to it. Okay? You keep, and so Dharmakara become a Buddha. What is his name? Limitless life. Okay? He's seeking a limitless life. Or he's seeking a limitless wisdom. See? Here, I become a Buddha. I become a pro. That's it. See? You're satisfied with some kind of fixed goal. See? You become something. You become a pro. That's the end of it. That's the end of flowing and seeking. Okay? But this goal is not that kind of the beginner's spirit. This is the beginner's spirit. But this is the beginner's spirit. This is a perfect beginner's spirit. So this beginner's spirit, you never graduate from beginner's spirit. Dharmakara, when perfected his beginner's spirit, his name turns into limitless light, limitless life. See? He becomes perfect student, perfect seeker. This is very important. Okay, we talk about this next week. Okay, this practice is nothing but this process. Okay, never ending. Okay? Amida Buddha with this always deepening, expanding forever. His practice is called eternal practice. Eternal practice. If you this is the practice, I attained Buddha, I become a pro. That's the end of it. That's the end of your seeking and learning. See, that's not the kind of Buddhahood that this story is talking about. This is the kind of Buddhahood that Shakyamuni embodied. This is the aspiration. Okay, that once we have this aspiration sparked like this, then this keeps on listening and learning. Okay, Shinran talks about the importance of Shinjin or this aspiration, because if you have this awakening in you, you cannot help but to hear and listen and learn Dharma continuously. The more listening you have, the more desire you have to listen. Okay, endless. Okay, that this is a very important part of the instruction. Okay, now let me get into the second instruction. Okay, then second instruction is here. Okay, then the Buddha Lokeshvara Raja explained in detail the greater and the lesser aspects of 210 kotis of Buddha lands, together with the good and evil nature of heavenly and human beings living there. He revealed them all to the bhikshu, to the monk, just as he had requested. This is another very important instruction, okay? And here, teacher showed all kinds of texts, greater and lesser. If I were the translator, I translate this note, the beautiful and ugly aspect of 210 kotis of Pure Land, together with the good and the evil natures of heaven. See, so it's important to pay attention to the words like lesser. I translate this as ugly, and he says words evil. So the teacher is here. Teacher is not showing Dharmakara not only beautiful and good aspects of those lands, but also the ugly and evil aspects of all those Buddha lands. After this Dharmakara, the teacher showed not only all kinds of beautiful and good qualities, but also all kinds of ugly and evil things that exist in this world. See, so to me, these words of the teacher seem to be his challenge to the Dharmakara. Don't you think this is a kind of challenge to Dharmakara? To use my own expressions, that the teacher is challenging Dharmakara by saying, Dharmakara, you have just said that you want to create a wonderful Buddha land, the best possible Buddha land. But what are you going to do with all kinds of ugliness and evil that exist in this world? Are you going to reject them, ugliness and evilness, in your Pure Land? Or are you going to embrace them in your Buddha land? Are you going to absorb and embrace them in your Buddha land? See, this I think it seems to me the teacher is challenging by showing not only good and beautiful things, but also ugly and evil things. Here, Dharmakara is learning from his teacher that he has to embrace all the evil and ugliness into his Pure Land. See, this is implied here. See, it's so important. In the regular Buddha countries, see, only the good people are welcome. Evil people are rejected. See, but Dharmakara says, I want to create a Pure Land that does not discriminate. That I want to have this Pure Land, my Pure Land, that can incorporate all kinds of, even the worst type of human, no distinction between the worst type of people, the best type of people, no moral requirements, no practical requirements. All of them equally I want. See? So that later Dharmakara makes vows to encompass everybody equally into his own life. So this teaching has something to do with it. See? And I explained the meaning of the name Lokeshvara Raja. Dharmakara's teacher's name, Lokeshvara Raja. What does it mean? See? His name, teacher's name. He's a spiritual king who has total freedom in the samsara. Okay? He is totally free, living with the evilest people and the ugliest people. He totally identifies himself with all of them and encompasses. That's the name of his teacher. That's the kind of Buddhahood he wants to emulate. So teacher is saying, see, are you going to reject these evil and ugly things in your prayer life? See? Teacher is a person who encompasses this. He lives freely among those ugliest things and evil things. We usually, see, under the name of Buddhism, whenever we think about Buddhism, we discriminate. We have dualistic wisdom. We prefer only the positive things and reject mind. This is in Buddhism too. In this human world of human wisdom, this world of Buddhism based on human wisdom. Beauty is okay, but ugliness is no good. The good is okay, but evil, purity is okay, but impurity is no good. See, these are all discriminate. And this is a Buddha land conceived in human life. In our type of Buddhism, when we seek Buddhism, we seek goody things. See, happiness. See, we seek only the positive values. See, such as beauty, good, and harmony, oneness. See, always these positive values we seek in Buddhism. But if we seek only positive values in Buddhism, that Buddhism is not authentic. It's very shallow, very shallow. Maybe Hinayana Buddhism, but Mahayana Buddhism, nothing like that. We have to be able to learn from everything. We must accept reality as it is. Okay, that's what this teaching is all about. Interesting here is that the teacher is not giving any answers. Okay, he's just providing some fundamental materials to think about. See, this is a very important instruction, and these two instructions have direct connection with the kind of Buddhahood Dharmakara is going to realize. Okay? After receiving his teacher's instruction, Dharmakara embarks on a 5 kalpa contemplation to formulate his vows. The 3 desires that Dharmakara had in his 5 kalpa contemplation, according to Shinran, were. So first, let me talk about the meaning of what does it mean to have the 5 kalpa contemplation. 5 kalpa meditation means that Dharmakara is contemplating on the instruction he has just received from his teacher. Then 5 kalpa meditation is a long time, 5 kalpa is a long time. Then after that, a long time contemplation, Dharmakara makes these 48 vows. Okay? So in this meditation or contemplation, Dharmakara is thinking of formulating his 48 vows. Okay? So now the Buddha Lokeshvara Raj has given all kinds of reference information concerning many Buddha countries. So Dharmakara must meditate on them and come up with a specific plan for creating his own Buddha country. Yeah, I can compare Lokeshvara Raja to an architecture professor, and I can compare Dharmakara to his student. Okay. And so the architecture student has awakened his desire to construct a most wonderful building that has never existed before. So the student asked the professor for guidance in his project. So the teacher gives all kinds of information. So the teacher, having recognized the student's sincere desire to build the most wonderful building, the teacher gives a student a huge catalog, huge building material catalog. Okay, that's what the teacher just given Dharmakara. So after having received a huge material catalog, the student must do his homework. He must go into privacy. See? He has to meditate on these materials, all kinds of materials contained in the catalog, and he has to choose what materials he will use in the. See, we notice the teacher that didn't say anything about what the Dharmakara should choose. Teacher didn't tell him how to construct the building. That's what the Dharmakara has to do. Teacher just gave this 21 billion information to Dharmakara and encouraged continuous seeking and learning. See, that's kind of general information. Yeah. Dharmakara has already said several times in the Tambutsuge that I want to seek, I want to make efforts in seeking Dharma forever. He mentioned that, see, so the teacher just reconfirmed Dharmakara's aspiration. Teacher didn't teach anything new in that sense. Okay? He just encouraged Dharma and provided all the information, resources, where Dharmakara should really study. Okay? So it's up to Dharmakara what materials he should choose from that catalog, and he has to come up with a plan. See, in this actually, in the 5 Kalpa meditation, Dharmakara is making a blueprint. Okay? Blueprint. Okay? So this blueprint is the 48 vows. Okay? All 48 vows are designed to create his Pure Land. He wants to create this most beautiful Pure Land. So in the 5 Kalpa meditation is a place where he is meditating on what materials, speculation, specs he's making. See? And making this specs of this building or the Pure Land is so difficult. Why? Why is it so difficult? Because Dharmakara wants to create the most wonderful place that never existed before. This is the Buddha land that can encompass everybody equally. See? In regular Buddha countries, see, only good people are invited. Evil people are rejected. Okay? Dharmakara has different idea. I want to encompass everybody. I don't want to discriminate anyone. See, creating this land or coming up with a blueprint for this land is so difficult. See? For example, coming up with the medicine that's designed for curing stomach ache or cold, it's not so difficult. It maybe the person who wants to come up with these medicines for the flu or cold or something like that, it requires maybe 1 kalpa or half kalpa. 1 kalpa or half kalpa is good enough to liberate relatively good people. But see, to come up with a medicine that cures incurable sickness like AIDS and cancer takes a long time. It's not easy. So the 5 kalpa is a long time. See, it was necessary for Dharmakara to have this 5 kalpa contemplation because he is thinking of the ways to come up with the means to encompass everybody into his land. See, that's what implied in this concept, 5 kalpa, long time. Okay, so okay, Now let me read this material. He has three desires, okay? Specific desires. He desired to come up with the simplest means for the and simplest but most powerful means of liberating all sentient beings, all beings. Later, this becomes the 17th vow. Okay, I'll talk about it later. Okay. Then second desire, he desired to save all sentient beings, all people, including the most evil, immediately with the simplest means, without any moral or practical conditions. That's a tough project, okay? He wants to see, so the evilest, okay, or foolish, including these most evil and most foolish, okay? So the means to liberate them should be very simple, okay? Because these people are not wise people, and these many of them are illiterate, okay? So teaching should be very simple, but simple shouldn't mean that mild or not powerful. Simple but most powerful, okay? That's the first desire, okay? So the first and second are related, okay? The worst type of people, the most foolish people, so means should be simple, but very powerful. And the third desire is he desired to give them the highest attention. He didn't think that, oh, these are foolish people and uneducated and evil people. So I will place them in the lower type of Pure Land. They are higher, they cannot go to the higher place, but he said, I can want to give all of the sentient beings, including the evilest, the highest Buddhahood, the highest attainment of Buddhahood. To use a metaphor of medicine, Dharmakara first desired to come up with a simplest and most powerful medicine, one that immediately cures the incurable sickness. See, this. Second, he desired that the incurably sick take the medicine and immediately experience the beginning of recovery. Yeah. Just receiving this one tablet, this person immediately has a sign of recovery and eventually become Buddha at the end of his life. His life becomes a recovery process. These three desires. Okay? This is Shinran's interpretation. Okay, this is uniquely Shinran's. Okay. His aspiration so far has been private. See, aspiration, his Hongan was only in his mind. Now, this has become the Seigan. Seigan means the sworn vow. Okay? Made public, expressed in words. Okay? Same aspiration, but finally, verbalized. See? So, now, 48 vows. Okay. As I told you last week, okay, we may think Dharmakara and Amida Buddha are the same thing or same person. Okay, Dharmakara becoming Amida. So Dharmakara or Amida Buddha is a hero in this story. We think Dharmakara or Amida Buddha is a protagonist in this story. Okay? But that's not the case. Okay? These are Dharmakara and Amida Buddha symbols. Symbols for what? Symbols for what? Aspiration for perfecting wisdom and compassion. Wisdom and compassion. Okay? Wisdom and compassion are the hero of this story. Okay? Wisdom and compassion are the protagonist. Okay? See? Dharmakara is a fictional character. Amida Buddha is a fictional See, so the wisdom liberates us, compassion liberates us. Symbol, fictional character Dharmakara doesn't liberate us, save us. Okay, so real hero, protagonist in this story is these two types of wisdom. That's what the Shakyamuni is. This radiant power of wisdom, power of light, radiance. See? That's what shaking this Anand. See, so Namu Amida Butsu is wisdom. Wisdom. That's what Shinran shows you. Nembutsu is wisdom. Okay, awakens us our wisdom. Okay, Shinran says Shinjin is wisdom too. This is Buddha's wisdom, not human wisdom. Human wisdom goes this way. Buddha's wisdom is one with Dharma. See? Wisdom in Buddhism means an insight into Dharma, becoming one with Dharma. Okay, this direction here, totally opposite. See, See? So wisdom and compassion is so important. That's why I talked about, I meditated in the last class whether I should talk about those two types of wisdom because it takes so much time. Okay, so I thought it was too much of the digression, so I kind of hesitate to talk about. But without talking about these two types of wisdom, okay, because I cannot tell you the real meaning of this story. See? If I say Dharmakara became Amida Buddha and he saves us, then he's our savior. It's some kind of Christian story. No, Buddhism is, in Buddhism, what liberates us is Dharma, what insight into Dharma. That insight into Dharma is wisdom. Wisdom is the main character here, hero, protagonist. Okay? And Shinran says this Shakyamuni embodies this. Namandabutsu means wisdom. Okay? And Namandabu wisdom awakens Shinjin wisdom in us. You understand it. Otherwise, see, all these teaching sounds like Christianity. See? Savior coming to save sinners and these wretched people. No. Buddhism is teaching about Dharma. See, so okay. Now, the teacher encouraged Dharmakara to proclaim his vows. I'm reading this material, page 7G. Okay, now 48 vows. Okay, we cannot get into details of these 48 vows. So I just have these 4 categories. Okay, so the 4 categories, vows, 48 vows can be categorized into 4 categories. Okay, vows about the Dharmakara's own Buddhahood. Okay, 12, 13, 17, and vows about the Pure Land. Okay, 31, 32. Vows about the people in the Pure Land. Okay, these wonderful people in the Pure Land. Okay, these vows. Okay, then vows about the people outside the Pure Land. These people outside. Now we get into the most important part of these 48 vows. Okay, according to Shinran, among 48 vows, 3 vows. Okay, 3 vows are most important. I discussed this when I discussed the 5 kalpa meditation. 3 vows, 17, 18, 11 here. These are the most important vows. And Shinran called these 3 vows selected primal vows. He sometimes selected vows, 3 primal vows. Okay. If I mention this, some of you may be surprised. Those Shinshu students, some of you who have been studying Shinshu may be surprised when I say it. Because many of you believe that Shinran taught only one primal vow or one selected vow. That's what Honen Shonin said. For Honen Shonin, there was one selected primal vow, one vow. And Honen called it the king vow, Honen said 18th vow alone is the most important, king vow. And other 47 vows are like the king's subject. Okay? 47 vows are just explaining the content of one vow, 18th vow. That's what the Honen said. Shinran never said that, okay? For Shinran, at least, okay, 3 vows. These 3 vows are like medicine, taking medicine, becoming cured. what is most important? You cannot distinguish these three. It's a, see, taking medicine, getting well. Can you separate these things? Medicine alone is important, or taking is alone? No. Three things are combinedly makes one entity. See? See? Flash-like movement. Shina said these three things work, three bulbs work together at one, like a flash-like movement. In this flash-like awakening experience, these three things are equally involved. That's how Shinran talks about it. Okay, the story has exclusive emphasis on the importance of the 17th vow. Shinran is the one, okay, who discovered the importance of 17th vow. All Pure Land masters before Shinran, okay, most of them, almost all of them, didn't pay close attention to this. But Shinran said, this is the most important vow as far as Dharma's side, Dharmakara is concerned. This is the most important. So coming up with the medicine is the most important thing. Without the medicine, how can you talk about curing sickness? See? So that's why this, okay, 17th vow, Dharmakara desire to realize the name. This medicine is a name. Actually, this Namandavats is a calling voice. What's the meaning of this calling voice? Take refuge in the limitless life. As I'm saying, see, this is, see, light. Actually, light and life, both wisdom. Okay? This light, this light is called wisdom. This light is called compassion. So light is everything. Okay? Two types of light. That's called wisdom, compassion. See, so the meaning of it is that, see, take refuge. See? Take refuge. Namandavats means this. Namandavats is an imperative sentence, calling voice, see? Challenging, imperative sentence. Okay, please remember. Okay, Namandavats is the voice coming from the Buddha. Only Buddhas can say Namandavats. Okay, so take refuge, imperative sentence in the limitless light. Okay? So the vow, 17th vow says, okay, 17th vow says, if we now attain Buddhahood, the countless Buddhas throughout the 10 quarters in the world, in the 10 quarters, do not all praise and say my name, may I not attain the supreme enlightenment. But what does this mean? Dharmakara is saying here, okay, when I become Buddha, there will be all kinds of Buddhas like Shakyamuni, historical, we're talking about historical Buddhas. There will be many historical, Shakyamuni is one of them. And all of them saying Nammandavatsa, see? Take refuge. See? Shakyamuni say, don't refuge, take refuge in me. Take refuge in wisdom. Here, see? It's wisdom that will liberate. So, Nammandavatsa. Go to the Buddha's wisdom. The wisdom liberation. That's what it says. Okay? That's what this 17th vow says. Okay? So twofold name. Okay? His twofold name is Amitabha and Amitayus. Okay? Two names. It's an expression of the limitless light and limitless compassion. Okay? Further, the name means a calling voice saying Namami. That's take refuge in the Buddha's wisdom. I emphasize wisdom. Okay, compassion is actually wisdom in Buddhism. Okay, in this text, with this calling, simplest. This is the simplest and most powerful means. Don't you think it's simple? One word, one phrase, one calling voice. Don't you think it? Don't you think it's so powerful? So powerful, summarize the essence of entire Buddhism. Okay? Take refuge in wisdom. Okay, with this calling, the simplest but most powerful means, Dharmakara desire to connect all sentient beings with the Dharma and wisdom and liberate them. He desires that all historical Buddhas say the name. All Buddhas in 10 quarters. 10 quarters means historical. The Buddhas are qualified the expression 10 quarters of the 3 times, like past, present, future, then those Buddhas mean the Buddhas in his history. Okay, so the Dharmaka said, I want all Buddhas in history like Shakyamuni or 7 patriarchs to say Namandavutsu. That's a challenging words directed to deluded people. Okay? The all historical Buddhas say Namandavutsu, so that all sentient beings can hear it. The only thing necessary for people is hearing, not saying Namandavutsu. Buddhas say Namandavutsu. Okay? That how can these people liberate? By hearing alone. Hearing what? Hearing one phrase. Come to Buddha's wisdom. Take refuge in Buddha's imperative sentence coming from our teachers. That alone is good enough to liberate. See? That is the second, the next one in the 18th vow. See? 18th vow. Dharmagara desires all sentient beings, including the unsavable, most unsavable. Here the name that is said by all Buddhas, historical Buddhas, understand its meaning and have awakening by hearing alone. Have this. See? This is so important. This is what Shinra is experienced. See? Shakyamuni to awakened Ananda's Shinjin. Honen awakens. Honen was a man of Namandavutsu. Honen was saying Namandavutsu. Shinran heard his teacher's words of wisdom and awakened Shinjin. See? It's not a mere doctrinal issue for Shinran. Shinran is seeing himself here. And all these 17, 18, 11, all 3 vows are made for myself alone, Shinran would say. So if we can see the same teaching in our own life, Shinran would say, see, we are liberated. See? Shinran believes this is the only way how human beings can be liberated. See? Attain true liberation. There are all forms of liberation in Buddhism. They say 84,000 Dharma gates, as Shinran says. This is the most basic. See? This is the most universal. See? This is how Shakyamuni was liberated. This is how 7 patriarchs were liberated. This is how I was liberated. And this will be how all humanity will be liberated. Shinran is seeing this universal pattern. This is not only his personal experience, but he saw this universal implication. That's why he wrote book. And this book is Kyogyo Shinsho. See? Kyogyo Shinsho. See? Kyo means the larger sutra. Larger sutra teaches these 3 vows, important. Kyogyo Shinsho. Gyo means the Buddha's practice. Namandavutsu is Buddha's practice. With the Buddha's practice, this becomes this powerful wisdom. Buddha's wisdom is a practice, result of his practice. Kyo teaching, practice, shinjin, and realization, Buddhahood. Okay? That's what Shinra experienced. That's what Shinra wanted to share. That's why he wrote the book called Larger Sutra Talk. Kyo means the largest. Kyo, see, practice, shinjin, realization. Kyo shinsho. See? That's how she. Okay, so let me read the 18th vow. If when I have realized the supreme enlightenment, living beings in other Buddha land should hear my name. See, hearing my name doesn't say chant my name. Okay? Nembutsu for people is hearing Nembutsu. Okay? Hearing this Nembutsu said by Buddhas. Okay? I will with sincere mind direct all my roots of good to them. Okay? All good roots here, all everything transfer. Okay? I will transfer and giving merits, wisdom and compassion merits in this name. Okay? This take refuge in Buddha's name. The name. Buddha take refuge in Buddha's wisdom. Wisdom is the most important thing. Okay? So should hear my name, I will with sincere mind direct all my roots of good to them. aspiring to be born in my land, they shall aspire. Then, by hearing name, they aspire to be born in my name, shall say my name, perhaps even 10 times. If they should not be born there, may I not attain enlightenment. Excluded are those who commit evil acts and condemn them to Avicii hell, and those who slander right Dharma or the sages. These all 18 vows have this so-called exclusion sentence, okay, exclusion statement. So where the Buddha says some people are excluded from liberation. This is a very difficult issue, and I hate to talk about it today. Maybe later, some time I explain it. But Shinran identified himself with those people who are excluded. Okay, that means that when one knows the evilness, one cannot say I deserve to be saved. Okay? So Shinran saw himself totally unsavable. Okay? So he identified himself with those people who are excluded from liberation. That's how Shinran interpreted it. He didn't see this exclusion statement as referring to other people. He is the one who is totally excluded. But Shinran said, if you know yourself as being totally excluded liberation, or if you see the total unsavability of yourself, that's Shinjin. Okay? Shinjin does not mean that you feel you are qualified to be saved. No, you see yourself so unsavable, impossible to be saved. That's a deep understanding of self. Actually, that's the content of Shinjin. Okay? When you have that Shinjin, then you can really appreciate the brightness of the limitless light of Buddha. If you encounter the limitless light of the Buddha, you see the limitless darkness in yourself. Okay, so Shinran identified himself with those who are excluded himself. That means he saw the limitless darkness, ignorance, unsavability in himself. But that means that he was encountering limitless light. Shinran said, without meeting with the limitless light, you cannot see the limitless darkness. That's why this exclusion sentence is very important for Shinran. Other scholars, Pure Land Masters did not interpret it. This is uniquely Shinran's own interpretation. Okay? But anyway, you understand. Okay? The only necessary thing, according to Shinran, for people, the only necessary thing is hearing the name. That alone awaken this Shinjin. Once this awakened Shinjin is awakened, this Shinjin becomes Buddha. This is placed in the stage called non-retrogression. This keeps on growing and growing. This is the limitless practice I discovered. Once awakened, this cannot help but grow and grow endlessly. See? This is not Shinran's mind. Shinran had this mind, the awake pure mind. But this Shinran's Shinjin, self-awakened Shinjin, could not help him to go this way. This was selfish mind, self-power mind. See? This mind is Buddha's mind, given to him from this side. Buddha awakened this mind. Although it came out of Shinran's mind, Shinran said, this doesn't belong to me. This is a gift. Shinjin is a gift awakened by Namantabats. See? So Shinran does not say, this is my mind. This Buddha's mind happened to appear within me. See? So, and this is the mind, same mind, Dharmakara here. So this mind takes initiative, and this mind becomes the Buddha. Shinran would not say, I'm going to become Buddha. No, this Dharmakara's mind that is awakened in me leads me. It's not me who saves me. It is Dharmakara's mind. This is beyond my creating this. this mind is awakened by my teachers, and thanks to their encouragement, support, this mind finally came out by hearing alone. And this mind, once awakened, cannot help but grow this. That is what 11th is about. My life will end at the very moment of my life. I attain Buddhahood. Attaining Buddhahood in Shinran's teaching means I fulfill my human life. No regrets, no remorse. I met something I should meet. I heard something I should hear. Now my life is fulfilled. Period. See? Full stop. No need of another life after death. See? Parinirvana, complete combustion, full stop. That's what I'm going to attain. Only Shinjin person who has this Dharmakara's mind awakened, because this mind become Amida Buddha. See? Dharmakara become Amida Buddha. Dharmakara in us become Amida Buddha. So when we die, we become Amida Buddha. Of course, Amida Buddha Dharmakara is symbol, okay? Symbol for the aspiration or the wisdom. Okay? This is the perfection of the process. So 11th vow talks about it. So here, see, okay? In the 11th vow, Dharmakara desires that all sentient beings immediately attain the true beginning, stage of non-retrogression. Shinjin is a true stage of non-retrogression. Non-retrogression means you never go back to the old way of living. The new self is born, new life begins. Okay, this is a powerful life of the continuous listener, continuous seeker. Okay, so the stage of retrogression, this is called truly settled. And eventually, see, eventually means in Shinran's life, when I die, see, when I die, I become a Buddha. See, attaining nirvana, become attaining nirvana or attaining Buddhahood means fulfilling one's life. Okay? Buddhahood or nirvana are technical terms. Okay, Buddhist technical, sometimes very difficult to understand, but it means our life is fulfilled, completed. Okay? That's what all people, not only Buddhists, but all humanity wants their lives to be fulfilled when they physically die. Okay, that's what Shinran says. If you have this true beginning, you have true ending. Okay, that's 11th vow. No more Buddhism, no need of another life. Okay? No need of another life. This is what Shakyamuni taught. This is what Shinran teaches us too. Okay, so two most important. Buddhism talks about two parties: liberating party, liberated party, curing party, cured party. So in this medicine, name is the most important thing in the curing party, in the liberating party. But in the liberated side, the cured side, Shinjin is the most important thing. See? So in this sutra, or in Shijodo Shinshu Shinran's teaching, 17 and 18 are the two most important vows. Okay? Kyo, Gyo, and Shin. Name, Nembutsu, and Shinjin. Nembutsu and Shinjin. These are two most important concepts. When this medicine and taking medicine, this patient and the doctor medicine meet, then you don't have to worry about this. Naturally, this 11th curing process, 11th vow is realized. So you don't have to worry about this 11th vow, because important thing is the meeting between this 17th vow, 18th vow, medicine and taking medicine. Okay? Meeting a doctor, receiving this. Okay? So these two, his 17th vow, 18th vow, Nembutsu and Shinjin are the two most important things. You don't have to worry. If this meet, this is automatically realized. Okay? If you have this powerful medicine, take it, recovery, you don't have to worry about it. It naturally takes place. Okay. Okay, let me finish my lecture part of session. No man doubts. No man doubts. No man doubts. Thank you.